guys, and welcome back to my channel, Savvy Street DIYs with Shanice. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you how I created this lovely bench behind me. So if that is something that you're interested in, then stay right there. This bench was basically a dupe of benches that I've seen on Design Within Reach, Home Goods, even Wayfair, and I think I saw one at Walmart as well on the website. And these benches range from the least expensive being about $130 to the most expensive bench that I've seen about $1,250. And we created this for a total of around $30, possibly less than that, but I'm just gonna go with 30 and I'll do the math after this video. So if this is something that you want to see, stay right there. But without further ado, let us jump right into this video. So here I've provided a quick materials list for your convenience, and we're going to move right along into creating this bench. I decided to make a trapezoid shaped leg. So taking my 2x4s, I'm going to make a 45-degree angle cut with my miter saw. Now this first attempt was not so successful. My measurements were slightly off. This is probably why I received a C+ grade in geometry in high school, but hey, attempt 2, your girl got it together. Now, if you do this right the first time around, you will not have to buy another 2x4. You will only need one. But in my case, I did have to buy another piece of wood for this leg, but we got it together the second time around. Now, the two vertical pieces of wood are 17 inches in length. The bottom horizontal piece is 6 inches long, and the top horizontal piece is 12.5 inches long. Now, to create a base to secure the wooden slates, I cut a piece of 1x4 to 16 3/4 in length. With the base being cut, I went ahead and placed the slates on the base to see how many I would need and get the spacing correct. I had to add some more wood, so I am going to have to sand these 3 longer pieces and cut them shorter. And then I'm going to have to put all this wood together to make sure they are 100% even, because some of them are looking a little short, but I'll figure it out. I didn't mention this before, but I did sand all of the wood with 180 grit sandpaper, and I am trimming off the ends that are too long. So the entire length of these slates ended up being about 54 inches long. I'm using the stain Golden Oak, and I'm applying this with a foam brush. Now, usually I apply stain with a rag because I feel as though I can control the color better, but this time I guess I was feeling a little adventurous. While the stain was drying, I used some 3-inch construction screws to put the legs together. Now, this was a little challenging because I do not have the proper tools like a proper workbench and vice grips to hold the pieces of wood together, but with the help of my son, we got it done. So the stain did come out a little too dark for my liking. I was going for a lighter color, and to try to soften it and lighten it, I just went over it with some 220 grit sandpaper and vacuumed out the residue that was left over from the sanding. So it is now time to secure the bench slates to the base. To do that, I'm using some wood glue and 2.5-inch construction screws. Now, prior to placing and securing the base with the glue, I used some masking tape to help outline the placement of the base, just to help guide me when I was putting the glue down. Now, I know you see all of a sudden this base that I'm using is black. I did use some flat black spray paint to paint the bottom portion of the base and also the legs, and I stained the top portion of the base that you would be able to see if you're looking from the top down. at the bench. So now that I had the base secured to the slates with the glue, I made sure everything was straight and allowed that to dry for a couple of hours. Once a couple of hours passed, I went and grabbed my drill and one of the smaller drill bits that I have. Sorry if I don't know the size. And I drilled some pilot holes through the base into the slates, and then I secured the construction screws. Now that the screws are flush to the wood surface of the base, I took the bench legs and using some 3-inch construction screws, I secured it with about 4 screws. So I drilled from the bottom into the base and secured the legs. Now, after I secured the bench legs to the base that I created, I saw it had some seams that I didn't necessarily care for. So I used some wood putty and I sort of covered up those seams, and I had to sand the wood putty down after it dried and respray paint the base and the legs. And once I finished that, we had our final product, which is this beautiful bench with the trapezoid legs. And I'm extremely happy with the way it came out. If you are still here with me, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, well, I think if you're still here, that means you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and give me a like, and I will link all of the materials that I used to create this bench in the description box below. Again, feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know if you've done a similar project at home. Also, if you are feeling inspired to make one of these benches for your home. The dimensions I'll also leave in the description box below. I believe the height of this, which I'll verify again, is about 17.5 inches in height, and in length it's about 55 inches. I chose to do that just because I wanted it a particular size. But yeah, thank you again for watching, and bye until our next video.